so this can look correctly read. All right, hang on. All right. Well, good morning, brothers and sisters of God. Well, let me straighten this up a little bit. Hold on one second. There we go. It's got to be vertical so it can look good in my picture frame. All right, hold on. Let me get my pen. Hold on one second. All right, good morning, brothers and sisters of God. How are we doing? We made it through another weekend. This time I got it right. Today is Monday. Anyhow, I know it's been 4 days. The last time I made a video with you guys, a lecture regarding about Exodus, about Moses and why we went there, because it's kind of has something to do about what Passovers mean in the Bible, basically in the Word of God, Passovers. And I think there's a few of them, right? Especially when Jesus, right, was crucified and conquered death and whatnot. 3 days later, he resurrected. Am I saying that right? Like I said, check me out. Always read the word for yourselves. Always study for yourselves. I know it's been 4 days. So, however, I want to go ahead and finish up my lecture regarding about what I think, what the Passover means in Exodus. I remember we did chapter 10, chapter 11. Now we're going to get to the point why I went to the book of Exodus regarding about the Lord's Passover. Okay, all right. I hope this video finds you guys in good spirits, well rested. Let's see what number 175. Welcome, thank you for your subscribe. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters of God, for staying tuned in and whatnot. Also too, this I'm not gonna exactly like bring it so early in the morning because it's kind of cold out here. So usually I like to sleep in a little bit, But sometimes I may start this 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. Okay, right around that time frame. I have my sip of coffee. All right. And may the Lord bless you. This is to whom may concern. May the Lord bless you according to the way you may be walking or walking in His Word. All right. So anyhow, this is Exodus chapter 12. We're gonna get to it. All right. And this is regarding about the Lord's one of His Passovers. I'm gonna put it like that. Let's see, did I read? Yeah. So, Exodus chapter 12. This is why I came here with chapter 10 and chapter 11. Chapter 12 is going to explain why I did those two chapters. All right. And this will be the conclusion of regarding about the Lord's Passover in Exodus in the Old Testament. All right. The time of Moses. All right. Let me bring this closely. Hold on. I got to move this coffee out my way. Gotta move it out of my way. Okay, there we go. Now you can see better. All right. Okay. Are we ready to go? Okay. Exodus chapter 12. Let me make my markings. Hold on. This thing wants to be sliding around. All right. Now remember, this is the continuance from chapter 10 and chapter 11 of Exodus regarding about the Lord's Passover in the Old Testament. All right. Exodus chapter 12. And this is why we came here. Hold on. Alright, and I better get my other glasses for some reason. Now these are my eyes, they like to act up, so hold on one second. Let me put these back. Wait a minute. And go ahead and grab these right here. There we go. Alright, we ready? I think so. So, Exodus chapter 12. All right. And it reads, And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, all right, that was 1, chapter 12, verse 1, verse 2, this month Hold on. Now my page is going to start sliding. This month. This month shall be unto you, all right, the beginnings of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. All right. This is gonna be a short one too, by the way. Well, good morning to you guys. Good seeing you too. Okay. 4. And if the household be too, it says, and if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Now it's saying the number of the souls, not just one soul, but the souls, all right? All the souls that were there in that time. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb, all right? 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish. Okay, your lamb shall be without blemish. A male of the first year, he shall take it out, all right, from the sheep or from the goats, all right? Okay, this is the Lord giving Moses instructions to tell to the peoples, the souls that were in that area, that region at that time in the Old Testament. And he shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Okay? And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two sides. Listen to this now. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. Now, God's giving instructions to Moses to tell the people what to do. Why is God giving these instructions? We're about to find out. Okay, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. All right. 9. Wait, let me get some coffee. Hold on. Gotta have my coffee. Hold on 1 second. 9. It says, eat not of it raw nor sodden at all. Now you notice how it says 9, eat not of it raw. So you're not supposed to be eating raw meat or with blood still in it. You know, some people like their steaks medium rare, meaning still with, like, you know what I'm saying, you're raw in its own. So anyhow, you know, it's best to make sure your food is cooked properly, especially your meats, with no blood in it, period. That's instructions from God's rules, not mine. Let's read that again. 9, eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs and with the pertinence thereof. All right. 10, and he shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning he shall burn with fire. All right. 11. Good morning, guys. 11. And thus shall ye, meaning you, me, whoever, them at that time, and thus shall eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. All right. There you go. That's the first Passover, you can say, all right, in the Old Testament, because it is written in Exodus chapter 12. And thus shall eat it, right, with your loins girded and shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. Once it is the Lord's Passover, period. Okay? Now, the reason why God instructed him to go ahead and do this thing, with the lamb, and then go ahead and see, what does it say? What was it? Oh, and verse 7, it says, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two sides posts and on the upper door. He was giving Moses instructions to mark the door with the lamb's blood. All right? Because it's the Lord's Passover. But what does that mean, the Lord's Passover at that time? And why did God give him instructions to go ahead to the people, all right, that kept their faith, all right, in Egypt, to those, all right, that reside in Egypt, the land of Egypt, right? Why did God tell Moses to tell the people to do such things, to do this thing, especially on his house? Well, we're going to find out right now, because the reason why God told Moses to do these things, because it's the Lord's Passover. This is why. 12, for I will pass through the land of Egypt. He's saying, for I, that means him, God, I will pass through the land of Egypt, all right, this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods with the small g of Egypt. Okay, the small gods, these are the ones that have no breath in them, the statues, images, and whatnot. Against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute. God is saying back at that time, and he did. See, God has a hand in things. God, when he stretches out his hands, things do happen, whether people want to believe it or see it or not. Things do happen. And it says, I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. Who is he? He says, I am the Lord. All right? That was 12. All right? For I will pass. All right? That's the Lord's Passover, through the land of Egypt, and smite all the firstborn. All right? And remember, who spoke those words? All right? Before he told Moses, come back no more, because this day you come back again, I will surely kill you. And what did Moses tell the Pharaoh? Right? You spoken well. Because, the Pharaoh didn't realize when he told Moses, and when he ordered to do all that, the firstborn, to kill the firstborns or whatnot, that included his own son. See? So his words is what killed his own son, when God decided to go ahead and send death through that land, to smite all firstborn, even in the beast. So 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses. See, once again, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. All right? Period. To those that didn't have this marking, they died when God sent death through. All right, it says, and he's saying, and when I see the blood, all right, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Okay, so the Lord's Passover, once again, that's what that means. The Lord passed over the ones that had the marking on their doorpost with the lamb, the blood of the lamb. All right. He passed and did not smite those. He only smited those that did not have the marking of the blood of the lamb. So 14, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, okay, for remembrance, right? And he shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generation with an S, generations with an S, Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 15. Hold on. Gotta take another sip. Taking my time with this too. Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a pretty big, yeah. So, where we at right now? Okay. Okay. The Lord throughout your generation, ye shall keep it a feast and ordinance forever. 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out, all right, of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that so shall be cut off from Israel. 16 continues to say, in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. Hold on 1 second. It's like in my way. 17. And ye shall observe the feast of the unleavened bread. All right. For in this self same day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generation by an ordinance forever. Okay. 18. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at even ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 1 and 20th day of the month at 11. All right. He's giving Moses instructions what to do after all this that took its course when he passed over, when he came through and smite the firstborn of the land of Egypt. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your house, no leaven. See, that's the difference between leaven and unleavened. Found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that, he's saying, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Okay. All right, 20. Let's see what we have. 20. Ye shall eat nothing. Okay, ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. All right. Once again, instructions from God saying that we should not. All right. Ye shall not eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. Only unleavened bread is what we should be eating. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, what I'm saying? This is my way of, only you make sure if you read the whole chapter for yourselves by reading it, but I'm going to go ahead. Hold on 1 second. Well, let me read a little bit more. I'll read a little bit more with you guys. Okay, 20. Ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. Okay, that's 20, all right? 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. Okay? The instructions Moses is calling for, all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. All right? As I use that name, the Passover, because that's what God instructed him to do. So God told him this is what this means. This is the Lord's Passover. And he shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. Moses giving instructions to the elders and to the people of that area of Israel. Alright? Alright? See, remember, the Egyptians occupied that time, occupied that area as well. Right? Egypt. As I say, read it for yourselves so you get a better understanding of the Word of God. 23, for the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two sides posts, the Lord will pass over the door. Once again, there you go. The Lord will pass over. That's what that means. The Lord's Passover. The Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer, meaning Satan, death, destroyer, to come in unto your house to smite you. See, but he's telling them you have to have this marking, you have to have this on your doorpost, because if you don't, destroyer will come by and smite you, and destroy you and every firstborn in every house in that region of the Egyptians. And anybody else for that matter. Even Israel that didn't have that marking. And he shall observe this thing. What he's saying, and ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. When? Not just for a few months, not just for a few days, forever. All right? Period. 25, and it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he had promised, that he shall keep his service. What's it saying? And it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, which who? The Lord. See, God give every nation, every man, its land. God gave this earth to mankind, all right? To have dominion over it, not to own it. The Lord will give you, because God owns it regardless. The Lord will give you according as he had promised, that he shall keep his service, all right? 26, all right. And it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service? 27, that ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover. Once again, see, 26 is saying, verse 26, and it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying here? This is what you tell them. All right, you tell them this. Say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover. That's what that is, the sacrifice of the lamb, all right? All right? Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt. Okay, so, all right, hold on one second. The children of Israel in Egypt. Okay, so it wasn't, they didn't occupy that. The children of Israel were in Egypt at that time. I kind of got that wrong. Let me correct that. They didn't like literally occupy their country, Israel, but I don't know how that took its course. How the children of Israel and Egypt landed over there. I think they were taken. So anyhow, unbelievable. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters of God. So once again, being that I got interrupted by the flesh here, that he shall say, it is a sacrifice of the Lord's Passover. There you go, period. That's what that means, the Lord's Passover, okay? Because he sent the destroyers to the land of Egypt, all right, to destroy every firstborn that the Pharaoh did so order too as well. But didn't realize that he meant his own kid. How silly, huh? Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worshiped. Why? Because they knew better, that God had a hand in the situation. All right? Through Moses. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit more. Okay, we're going to go to verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn. Okay, who? The Lord of hosts. Smote, that means killed. Smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh. See, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, what I tell you, that sat on his throne, unto the firstborn of the captives, meaning the slaves, all right, of the Israel, firstborn, and the Hebrews and whatnot, the firstborn of the captives that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. 30, I'm going to read a little bit more. 30, and the Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. And these are all the ones that did not have the marking. Okay. All right, 31. And he called for Moses and Aaron, let me turn the page, and Aaron by night, and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go, serve the Lord as ye have said. See, he did that before he told Moses, go, get your people and go. But his heart was hardened, right? Changed his mind, but I will not let your people go. This day you come back, I will kill. This day you come back, you return, I will surely kill you. Moses looked at him and said, you spoken very well. So anyhow, so Pharaoh once again is saying, go, rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as ye have said. All right, 32. Also take your flocks and your herds as ye have said, and be gone and bless me also. 33. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, we be all dead men. 34. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading trots being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. All right. And they borrowed. See, it says they borrowed of the Egyptian jewels of silver and jewels of gold and of raiment. They didn't technically really borrow. They took. They make sure they get paid for all that bondage and labor and slavery they did. It says borrow, but I don't know. God instructed them to take it. You know, to take the spoils of the Egyptians. That's how I believe. 36. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them, see, such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. There you go, see. As I told you, see, and the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, all right? You see what I'm saying here? Basically told them straight up, nah, you're paying these people. You know what I mean? They're spoils, you know, all their golds and silvers and jewels and whatnot. But that plays a major role as time went on, and there, you know, as a journey to the land that God promised with milk and honey. You know, as time went on, you know, everything was great into that one moment when Moses was up in the mountain for a while, and they started to get mentally bent out of shape because he wasn't showing his presence for a moment. And you always had that one little agitator in the crowd, man, talking ratchet jawing. You know what I mean? Hey, coming back. That does not wants to die. Oh, man. It just goes to show how people back in those ancient times, even to this day, just don't know when to be quiet. You know, they just got to keep talking and ratchet jawing. You know what I'm saying here? 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men besides children. 38. And a mixed multitude went up also. We're going to flip the page. Remember, I got a new book here, so I got to be careful with my pages. Flip the page also. Where are we at? Flip the page also. Yeah, I might as well just finish this whole chapter. Them flocks and the herds, and it says even very much cattle. 39. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of the Egyptian and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. 40. Now the sojourning, it says, now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. 430 years. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt. Man, just imagine, they were suppressed by the Egyptian power regime. I guess you can call it that, whatever. 430 years. Just imagine, huh? Wow. And their grip as slaves and whatnot. Wow. That's a lot of years, man, to be slaves and labor and whatnot. And it came to pass, like everything does back in those days, this day, this generation, and the latter days. All right, everything will come to pass, even including people. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the same day it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. All right, that day was the great day of deliverance. All right, and who delivered them? Who brought them out of Egypt? Moses with the staff and whatnot, right? After all the plagues hit, and after the destroyers passed through that land and smote all the firstborn and whatnot, and everybody else that didn't have the blood of the lamb on their doorposts, as God instructed Moses to tell all to whom it may concern at the time to do so, or else they will be destroyed. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self-same day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. God delivered them. Remember, to the prophets, to the disciples and whatnot, and so on, and to Moses and other greats and Samson and whatnot, it's God that was working in the background, either through them, you know what I'm saying here? Period, just with them. It was God that had a hand in all matters. All right, especially to those that walked and did the will of God. All right, it was God doing so all along. God just chose these certain individuals to do His will. So, and it came to the self same, and it came to pass that all the hosts of Caleb went out, and that they were being delivered. They were leaving that day with all the spoils of the Egyptians. So, 42, it says, it is a night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is that night of the Lord to be observed for all the children of Israel in their generations. See? And it's just not them. This is for the world to understand exactly as well. All right? This pertains, all right, the world to understand what the Lord Passover means back at that time. Okay, why was it called the Passover? Well, now we know. All right. 43, and the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There's that word again, Passover again. And it says, there shall no stranger eat thereof. Okay, 44, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. 45, a foreigner and an hired servant shall not eat thereof. 46, these are instructions that God's giving Moses. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall he break a bone thereof. 47, all the congregation of Israel shall keep it. 48, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord. Let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall thereof. Now, what it means by that, back in those ancient times, the personal part down there. These days, this generation does not require that. That that doesn't. He requires circumcised, meaning your heart, meaning your mind. That's what it means. He requires this, circumcise the mind. All right, straight up. You don't. This it doesn't require these days to go ahead and clip that little flesh off. No, it's right here. You must circumcise your mind, your mindset. Convert, change. That's what it means, technically. Okay, 49. We're coming to a conclusion, brothers and sisters of God. And it says, one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. 50. And it says, thus did all the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. All right, 51. In conclusion, and it came to pass, like everything does come to pass, even this generation and in the latter days, everything will come to pass, and everybody in it. And it came to pass the self-same day that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies. Isn't that powerful? So now we know why I came to you and brought that lecture to you, starting at Exodus chapter 10, chapter 11, and then we did the whole chapter 12. I actually was gonna stop halfway through the chapter because there's like 51 verses in that chapter. But I decided to finish it with you guys. What the hell? But now you know what it truly means. I'm sure you probably did already know what it means, or you learned. We remember what it means. And that's what it's about, I mean, we can read the Word of God. Doesn't mean that we remember everything, right? I know I don't. That's why I like to always go back and do it. It all depends, how my spirit moves me. I'm saying, as far as like what lecture to bring to you, what to this platform regarding about the Word of God, what He has to say about all things. It's not about what I got to say. I'm just a little servant. You know what I mean? I'm just, working on becoming a better messenger. A better servant to God. I'm out to please God, not anybody else. I ain't playing no church here. I ain't playing no putting on a show or whatnot. Every time you see me on this platform, you see me live streaming, I mean business, because this is a learning, growing, maturing experience for me. Even though things around me or whatnot from time to time like to get my attention, I see a lot of stupid things going on and people doing foolish little mindset disturbing. The state of mind is a little bit off beat. I see that. But I don't let that move me. I just go about my business and my own business, and that's it to it. All right, brothers and sisters, guys, you can be safe out there and whatnot, okay? And like I said, you got a lot of kooky people, man. They're just too busy, man. Right? Just not being right. God bless. See you guys by the blessing of God tomorrow. Truth. What do I always say? Hold on. What do I always say, brothers and sisters, God? Read chapter to chapter, verse to verse. Because like I said, I learned this from another, but I kind of say it a little bit different. In order to understand the ending, right, to those, God gives everybody free will, right, we must understand the beginning. And that does make sense when you use your common sense, right? Common sense tells you that does make sense, don't it? God bless, brothers and sisters, God. Chapter to chapter, verse to verse. Read. Truth.